Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo le va? And it is a good afternoon. It is the 5th of March, 2024, and it's 80 degrees out there. So, yeah, definitely spring weather. Looks like it's ready to come a thunderstorm, though, but it is what it is. Let's get through this video before the sky starts collapsing with all that thunder. What's on the table today? Well, we do have one more, at least one more strange SPI game. And I don't know how to say it. When I say strange, I do not mean, every time I say strange, I do not mean content necessarily. I mean different, although we can talk about the content of this being a little bit strange. I mean different, and this is certainly a different game, and it was certainly perceived as strange in 1981 when it came out. And what we're talking about is the return of the stainless steel rat, Harry Harrison's, the return of this. You got a story and your game, which are both one and the same, in a way. It is a paragraph-based game. And I wasn't going to do a video on this. I had no intention of doing this, but I ran across this morning while I was just looking at some of my games. I said, that's a good video to do. It's Aries magazine, obviously. 1981. This is the dawn of paragraph-based games. The first paragraph-based game, as far as in the war game genre, was The Voyage of the BSM Pandora by John Butterfield. I asked him in a live stream one time, where did he get the idea to do a paragraph-based game? And he said it was out of basically paragraph-based choose your own path game books. So I think that's pretty cool. And Voyage of the BSM Pandora is one, and that was in Aries number 6. This is Aries number 10. And the other game that came out in 1981, besides this one, was that was paragraph based, was Barbarian Vince, which wasn't done by SPI, done by Dwarf Star Games, which I still probably should do a video on, since that game meant so much to me in gaming in general. Great game in a little box. But this one here is another paragraph-based game. To be honest with you, I forgot I had this particular copy. I had another copy, and I destroyed it. I destroyed it by losing counters. Yeah, I've punched it. First, I didn't think it was punched because it was so flat, but I have punched it. So there is that. This game was done by Greg Kostikian, who did a fair amount of the more different SPI games, including the monster, the creature that ate Sheboygan, right? Which we have looked at on this series of strange games. And I know it's easy now to think of Greg Kostikian maybe a sort of kind of an older boomer at this point, but at this time in his career, he's a young guy. And he's full of ideas, and he has different ideas, and he's always had some different ideas in gaming, to be honest with you. And it's always somebody I've really appreciated. Now, I haven't played this game in so long, and it is, like I said, I think I've already said, it's a solitaire game. But let me get some background. You know Harry Harrison, even if you older people would know him. He was a giant in science fiction. An Englishman who wrote, most famous for the stainless steel rat books, and which in 1966 came out with Make Room, which is about New York City, I think, around the turn of around 1999, and it's that's the basis for the movie Soylent Green, right? Soylent Green is people. So he touched upon a lot of problems of what would be late-stage capitalism, right? Touched upon resources and a few oligarchs controlling most of the resources, and population overpopulation. Right, those are some of the themes that he deals with here, and like I said, just a giant in science fiction, and it's there's not enough. I can't say enough about him. The Ares magazine itself, with that Dragon Slayer, always is a neat read. And here's the Return of the Stainless Steel Rat. Here's the story. That's the story, which the story and the game follow each other, right? They're kind of hand in hand. And this is SPI, in my opinion, trying to get at some of the younger kids who've forsaken old war games for fantasy and science fiction games, right? And so that's what Ares magazine was kind of for. Was kind of there's an adventure for Dragon Quest, which we should look at it at some point. We should look at Dragon Quest, but anyways, great little magazine. Even modern Ares magazine, I kind of like, but the old Ares is where it's definitely at. And here we have the map, which is a great map. I think I comes the thunder. Oh boy, which is a great map. Look at the colorfulness of this map, and whoops, sorry, folks. Which it is a great map. And you have Jim DeGriz and Jim DeGriz's wife, who I can't remember her name in the game. I don't really think she takes a big part of the story. Maybe, well, but here are the rules and the counters. Decent counters. Counters are what you'd expect. Different colored though, right? They're different colored. They're not just different shaped as well. So the counters are functional. They're good. They work. They're probably a bit better than what you'd expect from a 1981 SPI game. As you can see, it is a war game in a lot of ways, but as you can see, it's not a traditional hex and counter war game, which is going to take some people aback, especially back then, 1981, to have a non-hex and counter war game. But the cast and the sequence of play. Let's look at the sequence of play, how to play the game. Let's read this. It's been a long time since I came out and read this. So follow the steps outlined in 4.2 setup, and then follow the game turn sequence. All right. Here's the setup: villain determination, outfit and entrance. Game turn sequence: movement, exploration, interaction, reorganization, combat sequences. When you go into combat, of course, it's going to be a big part of the game. Any war game, combat is going to mean a lot of things. Initiative determination segment. I always enjoy the initiative. Who's going to have the initiative? Roll for initiative, if you will. I always like that. Always games that would do that. Who's had the drop on who? The first being segment, movement, equipment, and the subsequent being segment. In the heart of the game, though, the game is, while there's combat, the game is a mystery game. You're trying to collect clues and figure out a couple of things. Skull here, that's really what the main part of the game. The computer on board a ship is trying to kill you. That's what's going on. And you're trying to disable the computer so it's not going to end your life, and you're also trying to figure out who's behind the computer, who's behind the Wizard of Oz, if you will. And It is a beautiful game. Look at that map. That is a map that you can look at. I don't mind looking at for hours at a time. It has everything I would want out of a map. It has all your boxes, all your weapons tables, all of that, and everything you're going to want out of the game, including there's your clues. You're looking for clues, right? You're going to pick up clues. Where we see that in a lot of games now. A lot of detective type games, which you're kind of playing a detective. And here's your paragraphs. This is something we're not going to get into too much because I don't want to ruin the game for you. But look at that. Very cool. You have your paragraphs to see what comes up. So it's a story game. It's a story-based game, story-based war game, based on a popular IP with when I say popular, a known IP, right? I don't think current day stainless steel rat stories are as well known. To science fiction fans, yes, but definitely not as well known as they once were. Again, Soylent Green, the famous Charlton Heston, Soylent Green is people. That is one of my favorite lines in all the movies, with his definitely overacting, but it's a great movie, and it came from Harry Harrison's fabulous stories. So, what about this game? Where does it rate in the pantheon of strange SPI games? Well, unfortunately, it just wasn't as known as something like the Creatures of Sheboygan and or Voyage of the BSM Pandora or something like that. So a lot of people aren't going to think about it when they think of SPI games. And even if you were to look at it, you're going to think, hey, this doesn't really remind me of an SPI game. It just doesn't. It just reminds me of something almost fresh and new. And it was for 1981, fresh and new. Paragraph-based board games. Who'd have thunk it? Now we think that's an old hat. We've all played Ambush and other games like Ambush. And it kind of hits a wall after a while, right? There's only a certain amount of game you can get out of something like a paragraph-based game. But this is an early one, right at the beginning of that. Like I said, based on a popular IP, a known IP, and honestly, it's a good game. I can't remember every part to it because it's been forever since I played it. And when I say forever, I have played it since I had the channel. Last time I tried to play it, I played through it, but I didn't really get a hold on it because I was because I was just trying to get through it and wasn't really playing it, if you will. But it is a good game, and it is a good solitaire game. If you have, I think you can probably find this for a pretty good price. And if you like solitaire games, as I do, listen, I'm a big solitaire player. I don't prefer solitaire games. I prefer to play against an opponent, and I do play against opponents. I played a game last night against opponents, but I'm not. I don't know how to say it. Solitaire games have always meant a lot to me because I can play them at any time. I've also been in a situation where I don't have a lot of people to play games with. I've also been in a situation where I don't want to get out. I think, and I don't mean that in an ominous way, but I'm open about it. I've had my own issues, depression issues, and so on, where I don't want to be out in the public. I've had my own issues. Or quite frankly, it may even be some PTSD issues, or I don't even want to say PTSD. That's overstating it. Maybe some vicarious trauma issues, where I didn't want to be out around a lot of people. And again, I'm working through those. And it's a weird thing because I always want to, even admitting that, especially on camera, I always want to exude confidence and project confidence anywhere I go. But yet, sometimes I'm drowned in simply drowned in confidence issues, right? And even something simple playing a game with other people sometimes can. I mean, I might not want to do it. So a solitaire game has always been a big part of my life, and this is one of them that you can set up and play and have fun with and go through. And it is like a book in the sense that once you've gone through it several times, you've played it out because you're not going to see any new paragraphs. You're not going to do any of that. But definitely worth the money and time. $40 or under, if you can get it for that, definitely worth it. Worth your time to play it and set up and play it. It is, again, some of the rules and some of the stuff may seem dated, but it was definitely fresh when it came out. And it is a testament to SPI trying to change it up in the early 80s, 81. And it's an estimate of them using Greg Kostikian, who is to look at a different way to make a war game. And there it is. And I don't know if I'm going to play it anytime soon. I've got a lot on my plate. I've been playing. I'll tell you, that's another thing that drew me to this. I've been playing, not constantly, but I have been playing it. A game, I should have had it right here. I didn't think about bringing it up. Against the Great Old Ones. I've been playing that, which is kind of this clue-based game. So it's a lot of fun. Those are a lot of fun games. And this one is no exception. You should have a lot of fun with it if you can, like I said, stand the rules and getting through it and understanding it. All right, that's it. But it is one of the strange SPI games. And most of the Aries games were strange games. And yeah, just an early paragraph-based game. Kind of a fun time to look at it. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Be good out there. And remember, it's spring. Go get you some ice cream. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.